Yes, brothers and sisters, welcome to another vibrations on this here Brbptv. Be real, be positive television, brothers and sisters. Another reaction vibrations. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be dropping another reaction on the Mr. Leaks reaction, guys. But of course, if I do, definitely check the link in the first comment in the comment box below for that vibrations. And with that said, guys, let us get into the vibrations for today right there. Now, brothers and sisters, I saw this video. This was a very interesting video to me right there. It's a little skit by an individual, a Dominican individual. I forget his name, but you know, his name is on there somewhere. Let me zoom in for this. Let me see. Delbert, yes, Delbert Marie is his name. And this is the skit that he did about Domlec.
Man, that blurry. They get in the call for that. For me to check that one.
Wait.
Yeah.
Domlec?
Yeah, Domlec. Hey, wait.
Don't run. If you see run, that makes things worse for you. Don't run.
What is your problem, bro? I just doing my job. I just doing my job.
Okay. Come.
Come for what?
My brother, all the cutting lights, whole yesterday, whole week, man, cutting lights, my brother. I try to wash my plates, my brother. Wash my clothes, my brother.
Really? You don't know you're supposed to wash on Sunday?
You still...
He tell him, man, you're supposed to wash up Sunday.
Okay. Wait. That's not.
Brother,
It's them people in the office, you know, not me.
Office, I don't hear
my brother, I just a foot soldier.
Yeah. Wash my clothes whole yesterday, my brother, man.
The boy just following orders, but you still coming to cut the man light. After all, you take out a J set of light for people and want people to pee. Really?
Almost my clothes waiting on my brother.
My brother is a man, I cannot do nothing. I cannot do nothing for you.
I don't hear about them in the office, my brother. Please paying for Paul, my brother.
My brother.
Hey, that was funny right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, I saw this a clipping right there on Facebook. Julie Berry, I think, is the one who brought it out. And of course, this is apparently Dominica viewed at night from space. Brothers and sisters, so this is Guadeloupe, this is Martinique. Where Dominica now? Dominica there, because Domlec take the lights. I don't know if this is true or not, brothers and sisters. You can do your research for yourself to see if this is actually true. This is Puerto Rico, you know, a number of places right there, Virgin Islands, BVI. And of course, you have Guadada with all the lights. And then even Mary Gallant has lights, brothers and sisters. Where's Dominica? All the other countries has lights. And this is not too far-fetched, you know why? You know why, guys? Because I remember passing along the islands when I was on the boat. The ferry, the cruise, whatever. The boats, brothers and sisters. And when you pass in, you see a lot of lights. When it comes on to Dominica, especially if you're coming from the north and you're coming down, brothers and sisters, you see no lights at all. None. And then when you come closer, you see little lights here and there. And then you swear it's in utter darkness until you make the turn. And then you see, you know, the thing. That's really something else. So I can't say this is not really true. I can't say this is true. But it's not too far off, brothers and sisters. I can definitely tell you it's not too far off right there. Domlec definitely did a number right there. But should we blame Domlec though? That's a question. That's an interesting question that we should ask. However, Domlec has decided to apologize for their dirty ways. Domlec says sorry for power outages. Brothers and sisters, why exactly? I mean, some of us actually knew why already, but Domlec is about to admit why that is right there. And of course, General Manager of the Dominica Electricity, Domlec, Brbptv, this individual right there, has issued an apology to its customers for the number of unscheduled power outages now plaguing the city as if it's some sort of virus, but plaguing the country, plaguing the company, and of course explained that it has all because of low capacity. Low capacity, brothers and sisters. The ability for them to produce and meet the demands. So therefore they are resorting to something, brothers and sisters. We'll figure out what that is right there. Of course, this is Nature Island News that brought it out. I'll post the article in the description below so you guys can check it out. The company has resorted to what? Load shedding. You see, guys, I mean, if you pay attention to what's going on, you will clearly understand what is going on here. You will clearly understand what is going on. Not much money circulating to create the capacity that it needed to then support the people who are in need of electricity. Load shedding. For those of you who don't want load shedding, we'll get into that in a moment. The company has resorted to load shedding. They have finally admitted what they are resorting to as a result of these unscheduled power outages across the island. And a number of power outages unscheduled have resulted in persons taking to social media and talking They talking, man. Talk shows, man. To air the grievances. Yes, man. Domlec apologizes and they finally come and tell the people. This is one of the things I don't understand. Why didn't you tell the people, guys, we having a shortage. We are low capacity. That's what we can do right now. Low money is coming in. Not much income is being generated for us to be able to do what we need to do, or to even right the wrongs of which we are needed to have better equipment and what have you as a result of the use of wear and tear of our machines. You know, they could come and say something, brothers and sisters. Alas, we are so sorry, but we'll try our best to maintain it. But there is still an issue I have to bring forth right there. But of course, what is load shedding, brothers and sisters? Load shedding, of course, load shedding is an energy utilities method, Domlec's utility method of reducing demand on the energy generation system by temporarily switching off on schedule. It's not something that happened, most likely they switch off, man. Yes, man, on scheduled power outages. But of course, let me read this again. An energy utility, Domlec's method of reducing demand on the energy generation system by temporarily switching off the distribution of energy to certain geographical locations or areas, brothers and sisters. Hemisphere, atmospheres, brothers and sisters. That is what load shedding is. So in other words, you cannot produce continuous flow of electricity at a specific time, or you run out or something. So you have to turn it off. You have to turn it off so that you can, at that time, you can save some monies or save some, oil or whatever. So maybe you can work in the night time, brothers and sisters. So they are resulting in load shedding. It's not me that say that. So, okay? All right. So that's what load shedding is. When you turn off the electricity because you don't have the capacity to produce the demand for the people. Anyways, continuing right there. This lady right there, Brbptv, is stating, I need to say to us that the root cause of this load shedding has been insufficient generation capacity. And we are also now facing a generation shortfall. Hey, that is what she said. We have been seeing in 2023 increased consumption, what you will call increased load. Guys, I'm going to be talking about that, what she's saying there, right? We'll get to that. That's why it's strong. Yes, brothers and sisters, we have been seeing in 2023 increased consumption, what you call increased load. So our peak so far for the year is 17.62 megawatts mg. And when you compare that to 2021, where we have a peak of 16.38, and most likely individuals were inside during 2021 because of all the whole Rona situation. But they're saying it has surpassed this, brothers and sisters. People are outside. I find it weird. I find it weird that more people who were inside the house, brothers and sisters, only, certain individuals could be outside, which means more consumption of electricity would have been used during the time of 2021. But she's saying, no, it's higher now. Even though individuals are more outside than inside, maybe the businesses were the ones putting the most thing, and as a result of business shutting down for a few days or whatever, or for a certain time period, they were not able to, they were able to save electricity. Maybe that's it. Anyways, we don't know about that. But I find it interesting that they're saying that people inside the house, who most likely use more electricity than being outside. They're saying people outside now are using more electricity than people who were inside in 2021. That's very interesting. Anyways, brothers and sisters, this is something for you to think of right there. When you compare that to 2021, where we have a peak of 1638 megawatts, that's over 1 megawatt additional consumption by our customers. And in 2022, 1635. So apparently it went down by 3.03 megawatts. Even though people were opening to come outside more. Anyways, brothers and sisters, according to Libla, this Brbptv, Dominicans are consuming more power in 2023, but that's not all. What? What? Dominicans are consuming more power in 2023 than 2021. Why? How? Anyways, according to her, Domlec is also facing the problem of old machines. I actually mentioned, I didn't see this thing. This is the first time I'm reading this article, by the way, guys. But of course, this was on Nature Island News. I figured, hey, interesting headline. Let me read it for you guys. Right there. Compare this with an aging generation. I actually stated this right there. Most likely they don't have the equipments to build, or get the proper necessary equipments, this kind of things. Oh, wow. All right then. Compare this with an aging generation fleet. Generation, a generator fleet. Maybe generator fleet they're talking about there. Compare this with an aging generator fleet. A generation fleet. Hey, an aging diesel generation fleet of which 10 megawatts of generation, nice right with dinner or generator. Brothers and sisters, you will do your mathematics. And of course, the company she reveals is putting in place some measures to combat on ongoing power cuts. You can read it. Brothers and sisters, the rest of this is in the description. You can go and check out the article right there. So when we heard this song, brothers and sisters,
Domlec, the power to serve you better.
Okay, the power to serve us better. The only reason why you guys putting out this information is because people take on social media and say, what on earth is going on? Only to find out now Domlec is actually doing load shedding because they do not have the capacity to maintain that of which they say is higher consumptions. I don't think it's higher consumptions, no, brothers and sisters. I more think is you guys don't have the money value since Dominica government took over and screw up. I mean, it's just a usual thing. Everything the government takes over, it screws it up. You take over the economy, it screw up. You take over the stadium, you decide, no, you don't want the indoor gymnasium. They were making you take everything, you take it, throw it in this and make a thing. Right now, that we're using more for music festival than sports. But you call it a sports stadium. Anyways, brothers and sisters, what do I know now? I don't know. But brothers and sisters, this is something rather interesting right there. And I think people can, resonate with this very sentiment when it comes down to Domlec. Sometimes you just feel to just, give Domlec some, some cool wash, man. But it's not their fault. It's not their fault, brothers and sisters, because, we have this individual right there. And before we continue on that regard, I must make mention that it is that the statement has been made about over $120 million has been put into geothermal energy. Over $120 million has been put into geothermal energy. More or less, brothers and sisters. $120 million. I have to say that again. $120 million has been put into geothermal, brothers and sisters. And not even a candlelight. The government took over with this premise of saying, hey guys, hopefully we can get into alternative energy supplies and what have you, energy resources, so that we can provide and then decrease the payments of citizens on how much they have to pay for electricity. That was not the case. That was a lie, brothers and sisters, because about 2 months later, Dominica received probably one of the highest ever prices that the individuals had to pay, the citizens had to pay for electricity. So let that sink in. And of course, this is back in 2014. Okay? All right.
Madam Speaker, the thrust towards clean and renewable energy is being pursued vigorously. The main objective is to reduce the cost of electricity to the benefit of households and also to attract new investment and support existing investments.
Oh, you did not hear that. Or you did not hear it. Let me increase the volume.
Madam Speaker, the thrust towards clean and renewable energy is being pursued vigorously. The main objective is to reduce the cost of electricity to the benefit of households and also to attract new investment and support existing investments.
Guys, can you say that happened? Can you say that happened, really and truly? Can you say that this has happened? I mean, look at your life. You don't have to listen to me, Look at your life. Look at your life, okay? No, it's not just higher prices for electricity, Not just higher prices for electricity, brothers and sisters. It is also load shedding now. So you're paying higher prices for less energy and poorer quality electricity.
We are pleased with our achievements to date.
You're pleased with the achievements to date in 2014. 9 years later, brothers and sisters, 9 years, 2014 was 9 years ago, brothers and sisters. July, August, September. 9 years and about a month and a half, brothers and sisters. 9 years and a month and a half. 9 years, 1 month and a half. 15 days.
In the drive to develop the geothermal potential of this country. In that regard, the specific achievements include the following. 3 test wells were dug, confirming the viability of the geothermal resource. 2 production wells were drilled. Successful flow testing of production well Brbptv was carried out between June 10, 2014 and June 16, 2014.
Successfully carried out, he said, Successfully carried out. 9 years later.
The production well Brbptv is capable of generating about 11.4 megawatts of electricity, which is essentially enough supply to cover the existing base load of the country.
Well, apparently this was 2014. He said it was apparently what I read earlier, brothers and sisters, with the indication. Let me bring this up. With the indication is there 11 point something. Well, she stated it is 16.35. So what happened? Why we have more usage of electricity? More people coming to the country? Or there's a rather interesting thought process I have, brothers and sisters. It might not be true, I don't know, but I decided to put it out there. On the whole issue of cryptocurrencies, brothers and sisters, there's something called mining. And on the basis of mining, you're mining cryptocurrencies so you can make more money, brothers and sisters. You have the computers, equipments out there, and you are mining cryptocurrencies, brothers and sisters. Use your computers and whatnot. That normally has a lot of, it needs a lot of electricity to run these things. Now, remember, the government of Dominica has facilitated with a number of individuals, Asian individuals as well, to make Dominica what? The cryptocurrency nation, so to speak. But we haven't heard anything about that. So the question I want to ask, brothers and sisters, is it possible that the government could have been doing these things privately for themselves to make cryptocurrencies? And in doing that, they require a lot of energy to produce so that they can mine cryptocurrencies. Remember, brothers and sisters, Scare them were the ones who talk about crypto and Dominica becoming the number one nation. Again, it was number one climate resilient. That didn't work out. But we have the crypto and want to, talk about we want to be the forerunners of the crypto vibes. Now, we haven't heard anything in the public sphere when it comes on to this. But the possibility of it happening, where Dominica or the government, them are probably mining and as a result using a lot of electricity and then putting the burden on the people for them to do this. Isn't that a possibility? I always used to think of this, brothers and sisters. I always used to think of this and saying, but we're not hearing much. We're hearing about Dominica affiliating with individuals who have cryptocurrencies and even Dominica having its own cryptocurrency. Don't you think there's a possibility that mining could be going on, brothers and sisters, and as a result of mining, the electrical bill has skyrocketed? Because I'm trying to figure out from since 2014 to now, what exactly has changed for the capacity to jump from 11 to now 16 and now today she's indicated 17. What could it be? Help me out. You guys can let me know in the comment box below. What do you think that could have been? Why? So, do we have electrical cars now? We charging electrical cars now or something? We have a plethora of these things. I know in California, a lot of people have electrical cars and that is literally mashing up the power grid. Tesla and what have you, brothers and sisters. They have it there and it's mashing up the grid in California. So I don't know. Help me understand this, brothers and sisters. That's the only thing I can think of. I could be wrong, but I could also be right. So they're clapping about this whole situation right there. It sounds like a nice plan. Yay, geothermal. Brothers and sisters, like I said it before, more or less, I more think is more than $120 million has been spent for geothermal. I remember when the Prime Minister them acquired, when the government of Dominica acquired Domlec, stating the very sentiment that, hey, we're going to look into alternative energies, alternative energy supplies and this kind of things, solar, hydro and what have you, brothers and sisters. I've been indicating one of the best things Dominica can actually have, especially when it comes down to preserving nature, is develop dams. We might as well get some beavers to develop dams, well, because the Dominican individuals who are in charge of these things are not doing so. We could develop dams, brothers and sisters, and have little holes in the dams that could turn the turbines. And when it's turning the turbines, deplete the water, we could open, if necessary, close if necessary, and then you have the regeneration of the rivers. Because like I said before, brothers and sisters, in about 5 to 10 years, them 365 rivers will become 365 deserts. Because the way things are going, brothers and sisters, you have to ask yourself a question. The way that things were back then, I remember how the rivers were back then. We used to say on top cliff and jump in Layu River. On top cliff, man, staying. I remember there was a long rock in the Layu River. You remember the hot basse that in the like a small basse hot part of Layu River? Water was flowing over that way. Yes, man, water was flowing over that. You could literally swim and go into that thing after. No, you have to climb as if it's a mountain you climb in to go in that thing. Brothers and sisters, if you don't know nothing about the rivers and stuff, chaos will ensue. All right then. So Prime Minister talking about geothermal 2014 right there. Over about $120 million has been used for geothermal and not a candlelight. Talking about, we want to utilize alternative energies and this kind of things, and none of which came. Which I must ask a question, brothers and sisters. If you're doing all this research for geothermal, and he says that there are a number of successes in 2014, we are in 2023, brothers and sisters. 9 years ago, that happened. Where are we with geothermal today? Where are we with geothermal? Shouldn't we add geothermal to our electrical grid? That would then meet the capacity, she's saying, that would indicate, most likely if we had 11 and we were meeting 11 megawatts, and then Security is saying that what is being produced is successful, that can reach the 11, can meet the 11 megawatts all across the country with the geothermal. That means there will be 22 megawatts of energy flowing. That will be 5 more than the present 17 that will be required. Now we on load shedding in Dominica. You think that is it, brothers and sisters? That's not it. No. Look at what I see there. This is a gas station in Portsmouth. The gas station here reads $17.07 for a gallon of gas. All right. Now you might say, but Mr. Leaks, but I find that high. You find it high? All right. Let's look at. I was also sent this thing right here, brothers and sisters. August 2023. That was last month. Okay? This is the indication right there. Anguilla is $16.32. Antigua and Barbuda apparently is $13.99 as a sister, country to Dominica. Commonwealth of Dominica, $17.00. Even though Dominica has one of the lowest wages, it has one of the highest wages. Don't you think they are bringing up these gas prices to try to meet the demand? They're putting the prices, they're putting the debts, they're putting everything on the people so that they can get the monies, not just so that they can increase their salaries. Maybe, I don't know, they have done this before, The government has increased their salaries about 2 or 3 times. All right then. So they're putting the load on the people. Remember, 1707. Grenada is 1558. Montserrat self is crazy. I don't know what Montserrat doing, but Montserrat in a whole other level right there. 1798. That's the highest in every one of them. 1581. St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis has one of the best wage ranges in the Caribbean right now. St. Lucia 1605 and St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1568. Why on earth are the countries that are closest to us? Montreal is not close to us, brothers and sisters, but the countries that are closest to us have their range in $16. Generally speaking, about $15.95. On average, I'm looking at everything right there. It could be less, 1590 around there, brothers and sisters. Yeah, it's about 1580 actually on my average, just from looking at different things right there. 1580 average. You guys can check it out and see if I'm right or not. And Dominica is 1707. Well, I can tell you why. It's because Dominica government and the individuals in charge of these things has decided to add more money so that they can get more money from tax from individuals. It's simple. It's simple. I don't know what arrangement they have with rubies, but that's a very interesting one right there. So they are putting the expense on the people. They have put the expense on businesses like the what do you call that, the credit unions, and obviously the credit unions are gonna pass the expense to the people. So even if the government say, oh, we don't increase taxes and things, they put it on the people. They put it in the businesses, and of course the businesses are gonna pass it on to the people, or the businesses then wouldn't make money. And the business's ideology is for them to make profits and increase profits, not decrease profits because of government and government what. Brothers and sisters, this is also rather interesting right there. Letter to the editor. Because you're wondering what on earth is going on and I can't explain it. Hopefully this individual has asked the right questions right there. So Dominica breaking news right there. Letter to the editor. It looks like communists or communism is slowly creeping in into Dominica, and we Dominicans have to stand up against it. Yes, brothers and sisters, communism isn't a nice thing at all. I know sometimes we say, oh, the government give me this and the government give me that. But you're selling your freedom for the little things that they have done for you. And you can do it for yourself, but they decide to kill the economy so you can't do it for yourself. So you have to depend on them, which is this is a rather interesting scope right there. We have reached a position where some managers, foolish managers, don't want us to speak about what is going on. The ills that they are doing to the individuals or the people. But no, I will stand against it, this individual is saying, and I will speak out. Well, it seems like you speaking out, but I mean, no name, no warranty, not true. Anyways, they are even saying that we must come and talk to them first before we talk about things that is hurting us and with them. Because it's not just hurting us, it's hurting them as well, but they want to stay quiet because it's their people, not so. Or we want to get privileges of certain things, loans that we don't have to pay back, but we have to pay back if we decide, okay, we're not going to support government again. That is another interesting scope, because remember, brothers and sisters, there are a number of businesses that receive loans from the government, and if you look at if they are paying back these loans, this is probably why Domlec and a number of companies cannot produce, because the individuals who are being given monies from Dominica are not paying back these loans, and the government is not forcing them to pay back these loans because they are supporting the government, and as a result maybe have some influence on other peoples as well. Only know what's going on in the country? No, maybe not. Okay. They're even saying that we must come to them first to talk to them, blah, blah, blah. And of course, this is in with them when they are the problem. When they see they cannot fire or suspend you, this is probably why they don't appoint teachers or appoint a number of individuals who need to be in positions, because they know it's hard to fire people who are appointed. And therefore, the appointment of individuals will keep in the non-appointment of individuals will keep them quiet. Yes, man. They are giving us salt water to drink and telling us, say it's sugar. Say it is sugar that we're drinking, but I won't say it is sugar at all, this individual saying. Okay, when they do that and then people retaliate, then they will say it's the people that bad. When they cause the people, you know what happens, brothers and sisters? There's always this, I don't know if it's a saying or phrase or something. They say if you push a dog in the corner, scared dog in the corner, the only way that dog will go is forward when it is really fed up of being attacked. Yes, the only way to go is forward. And guess what is going to happen? It's going to attack the person in front of it before it can escape. Yes. When the people are pushed against the corner too much, but it seems like Dominica are resilient in getting blows. Dominica is resilient in blows, man. Anyways, where was I? When people retaliate, they will say that, why they do that for. But no one dares to say they had enough and they can't take it no more. But tell them they can't stop reggae. As if reggae start, That's if the band there, we always talking, blaggy. And any person who trying to stop me from talking the truth, they will fail. At least you should put your name there so they can see if they can try to stop you. No? All right. But it's just interesting, brothers and sisters, when I got these kind of things there. There was also another thing, brothers and sisters. This individual made a statement I can agree with, saying reggae, you can't stop reggae. But there was some strange kind of event that took place, brothers and sisters. I believe this is the prime minister who, the church where the prime minister of the individual who fell as a result of the prime minister's son, driving, whether the prime minister's son was wrong or the individual was wrong, whoever in that regard. But the prime minister was at that funeral. I believe this is the funeral right there. Anyways, there was something interesting about this balloon. A blue balloon. This is Skerrit and Melissa them. And then all of a sudden, brothers and sisters, this balloon just came up from nowhere. I went right to Skerrit's hand. And he gave it to Melissa. It was rather strange. I don't know. What are the odds, Sometimes signs are shown and we just complete like, that's nothing. Who knows, brothers and sisters? I guess only time will tell what exactly this symbolizes right there. What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. And this is pretty much all about for this here Brbptv reactions. If you did enjoy it or understand it, not enjoy it, no. I don't think there's nothing to enjoy in this vibe. It's just putting information out there, making the people think. That's what I want to do right there in that regard. And of course, if you understand it, let me know your thoughts as well in the comment box below, guys. And with that said right there, I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Remember, guys, be real, be positive.